Hey, Scholar House family. My name is Sarah Smith, and I am a life transformation coach, speaker, and host of the Women's Empowerment Conference in Kentucky. I wanted to come on here and share my story with you guys, and I just really feel like it will be so helpful to you and impactful for you. I am such an anti-high vibes only type of person. And that is because when I learned true abundance and true success in my life, it was at one of the most desperate and horrible times in the world for me and our family. And so in 2015, my husband lost his job. We tried to move back in with my family, got kicked out multiple times, and at the time we had just had a newborn baby, and we had 2 toddlers too. So we had 3 young kids, and we had a car, but it was like, will it be repoed at any second now? And so we were homeless. I mean, we lived in a shitty camper in the middle of winter. Like, it was freezing cold. We had a space heater and like extension cords running out to this thing. We've lived in a shed, an unfinished shed. There was a time in our life when abundance was a faraway thought, and our hopes and dreams of moving to Florida and living on the ocean and becoming entrepreneurs, it was just such a faraway thought. And if you would have told me that I would be moving to Florida with my family, I would have never believed you, because we had nothing. Every single day we lost something new, whether it was possessions or our home or our car or a job. It was like everything was just dropping away around us. And so I remember, we had our kids, and I remember having to give our baby baths in freezing cold water, just having to wash her off. And I remember the girls getting into a jar of peanut butter when we were in the camper, and they were both potty training, and we didn't have the money for pull-ups, and it was just such a nasty, horrible time in our lives. And at the time, I was so into fitness, and I was super committed to my health no matter what it took. I was putting I would make a paper funnel, and I would scoop protein that we could buy off of food stamps into the water bottle, and I would drink those all the time. And I just remember being super committed to my health. And so I was a creative person. I always have been a super creative person. I've always been that way. And so I was like, what can I do with this passion for health that I have? To serve others and to make us money to be able to get out of this situation. And so that's kind of when I started my journey with entrepreneurship. I started doing in-home personal training with people. We had 6 or 7 dumbbells and a bar that you could load weights on that my husband had when we first got together. And so I would go into people's homes, do in-home personal training. I signed up for the NASM personal training certification because it was free to sign up that month. So they shipped me the book. I was learning all kinds of stuff. I was super passionate about this. I was calculating people's macros, and people were paying me. And then I was like, how can I scale this to where we can actually make a substantial income instead of just $20 or $40 here and there? And so I started packaging the sessions together. So people had to purchase 6 or 10 sessions, and I was getting several $100s at a time. And I remember meeting up with a lady at the library, and she was my very first big client. And she signed up and paid me $640 that day. And I remember thinking, holy crap, if I can do this, anything is possible for me. And it was $640, and you guys know, that was a huge amount of money for us at the time. But at the same time, in hindsight, looking back, it's that was small, right? Like, that couldn't buy a car. That couldn't get us into a rental property. Like, that couldn't do a lot. But it did a huge number on my soul and my confidence of knowing what was possible for me. So the breakthrough came really, I was doing that. And, my parents, we moved back in with my parents. We had bounced around from house to house a lot. And the breakthrough really came when, we had been going through the shit over and over and over. And it seemed like we were never going to get out. No matter how hard I tried at this business, no matter how much we loved each other as a family, like, it was like nothing was working. And like I said, the breakthrough really came after I let go of the anger and the resentment that I felt toward my situation and circumstance and where we were at in life at the moment. And so I wanted to share 3 things that I learned from going through all of that, and how, like, my mindset work and my inner work that I had to go through to trudge through that journey really just changed our entire world. And so the first thing that I learned was, like, the moment that it happened, it was like, whoa, I can do this. Like, I can create abundance even when there are no signs of it, no evidence around me that there's success or success or abundance around me. Like, I can create that out of nothing. And so the first thing I learned is that you have to figure out a way to love where you're at right now in order to get to where you want to go and where you're going. And I struggled with that so hard. Trust me, I know. We're all going through something different, but we're all going through something. So I know. And, I was so resentful. Like, why would God have me go through all of this stuff? Like, what is the point of making my children miserable? What is the point of being homeless and hungry? And what is the point? Like, what is the point of all this? And, I was resentful of my town. My husband had been in trouble, like, with the law multiple times, and I lied about something. I've been to jail before. Like, I was so resentful at the police and my town and my family and the circumstances. And I really had to figure out, like, what your mental energy goes into is what shows up in your life. I'm pretty sure there's a tractor coming down the road, so I might have to pause talking and resume. But I really learned that what you put your mental energy into is what shows up in your life. And so with learning that, I was like, wow, I'm angry all the time. I'm depressed. I'm upset. So it's no wonder that every time something bad happens, it's like another bad thing happens, another bad thing happens, and it's just this spiral downward. So I was like, what if I learned how to love my family, how to love my community, how to love where I live and where I'm at and the stage of my life right now? And of course, my ego got in the way and was giving me all kinds of mind drama. You can't do that. Like, seriously, you're in a horrible situation right now. They were horrible to you. Like, what is there to love? And those thoughts, me being in my ego, stopped me from so many opportunities. I remember meeting my best friend now, Erica Rhodes, and we had talked about, throwing events together. And for a while, I was like, I can't throw events. I'll be tied down to this community. And when all this is over, I won't be able to leave or move away. And I don't want to be committed to something. I remember thinking about starting my podcast that now has over 10,000 downloads, been heard in like over 50 countries. Like, I remember thinking, oh, I can't commit to something like that. Like, what if we become homeless again and then I can't run my episodes and then it's all a major failure? And I put all of that aside because, like I said, I was going through my own inner journey and mindset, and I put all of that aside, and I just said, you know what? Like, I have a best friend that wants to throw events with me. Like, I have opportunities in business right now, in life right now, with friendships right now. Like, so what if we have to sign a lease for a place? So what if I'm committing to something and it has to shift down the road? I had to learn that, like, wow, I am really grateful right now, and I am really abundant with opportunity and gratitude right now where I'm at, regardless of what we're going through. And so I figured out, like, this is the way abundance works. And so you have to learn how to love where you're at. You have to learn some type of way. That doesn't mean you have to learn the shittiness of it or the crap that's in your circumstance or the person that's hurting you. You don't have to love the ugly, but you have to learn to look around the ugly to find the good. The second thing I learned is that humans can do superhuman things when their backs are against a wall. And I learned that I should treat my adversities as privileges. And that may be really triggering for some people to hear. But it is so true that when your back is up against a wall and you are going through something really hard, you have the perspective of and the advantage of having your back against a wall that other people that are living normal lives or that don't have as big of issues, they don't get that type of perspective. They don't get that type of motivation, right? When your back is against a wall, it does something. It does something to your brain, and you become like this superhuman that can do amazing things. So lean into your adversity or whatever is going on. I remember I shared this on my Instagram the other day. I made a video and I put it on my Instagram. And it was like the summer after we were homeless and went through everything. And I made a video just like this with like on my phone. And I said, you know, I am hungry right now. I am sweating. Our life is still super horrible. I don't have hardly anything. But my life is about to change. And the life of my family is about to change. And I want you guys to know that I am on the verge of something huge. And I shared that on my Instagram, and that popped up on my memories just like a week ago. And I was like, wow. Looking through my camera roll, videos of me and my 4 daughters and my husband on Key Biscayne, like in Key Biscayne, Florida, like on the ocean. It's just really touching to look back over the memories and be like, wow, like we did it. We did it. Like we came through on the other side. And so when you're going through something, I want you guys to think of it that way and have the perspective of what is going to be my story when all of this is over? What am I going to be able to say? What am I going to be able to tell my kids when all of this is over and we have overcome it? So the third thing I learned is how to be this master manifester of good things. You guys, I don't believe in luck. I believe in hard work and manifestation. And so the way you manifest amazing things and just like draw in, do you ever notice those people that it's like, wow, like so much good is happening for them? Like, why am I over here with so much bad when they have so much good going for them, right? It's like the people that make a lot of money, they not only make a lot of money, like they have an awesome house, they have an awesome family, like they have a positive attitude. And it's like, I'm over here like, what the heck, right? But When you step into, there's also, I talked to you guys about the downward spiral, right? When something bad happens, it's easy to get in the mindset of stuff bad happening, and it's like a downward spiral. There's also an upward spiral. When you catch the wave of gratitude and good stuff happening to you and for you, you can ride that spiral upward. And it's the same exact way as downward spiraling, except you get to ride it upward. When one good thing happens and you feel it and you tap into it, more good stuff happens. You attract more good into your life. And so when we were homeless, and it was like we couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I was really learning how to love where I was at, I would go outside barefoot and just stand there with my face up to the sun and just soak it in and feel it. I would be holding my water bottle and just be so thankful that I had clean water to drink, because lots of homeless people that don't have a home don't have clean water to drink. And I would put on my clothes and just be so thankful that I had something that fit me that was nice to wear. I would look at my kids playing out in the yard, even though they were playing with sticks and boxes and didn't have any toys. And I would just look at them and I have chills just thinking about it. I would just look at them and just soak in that gratitude of like, they are so beautiful and healthy and alive right now, and we are together right now. Like, yeah, we may not have jobs, we may be making hardly any money, but we're together and we have love, and that is enough. I'm choosing that will be enough, right? And so, like I was saying, the way I learned true abundance and high vibration and high vibes, right, is by going through the shittiest time in my entire life. There is no such thing as high vibes only. That is like a fake metric. That's fake spirituality. If you are getting to a high vibe, to a high vibrational state to where you can attract abundance and you can manifest any desire you have, you're going to go through some crap. So the reason I wanted to share this is because if you are going through some crap or you feel like there is no light at the end of your tunnel, you are becoming the perfect vehicle for manifestation and abundance and success. Because to manifest and to have success and to have true abundance, there's yin and there's yang, right? There's darkness and there's light. Light doesn't exist without the darkness. So don't fall into the trap of my life has to be perfect, or I have to make a ton of money, or I have to have this perfect life to feel better. When you focus on feeling better and feeling more grateful where you're at right now, you open yourself up to receiving the life that you desire, right? And that was the biggest mindset shift that over the course of the past 5 years, we went from being homeless and having nothing, losing everything, to being able to move to Florida, having the means to buy a home, having a car that we all fit in, right? And it was because instead of focusing on the lack, we focused on the abundance that we had. So it is my hope that wherever you are at in your life right now, whatever circumstance or experience that you are going through or you've gone through before, that you learn how to release the negativity and look around the bad and look around the ugly to find the good. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I know we are all going through something different right now, and it's just my prayer and my hope that you can find the good in this ugly, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week.